All righty, folks. Today we're going to run through why they are not buying your AI tool. This just as well applies to any of the high-tech stuff, blockchain, tokenization, crypto, whatever. If they're not buying your thing and it's on the advanced high-tech tech side of things, there's a reason for it. The problem is people don't understand why or how big companies purchase. Right? When you're selling to enterprise, it's a different sale. Most AI founders think they have a sales problem. That's not the case. They really have an approval problem. And I'll break this down. Most tech deals are lost after the demo, right? Everyone knows how to sell. I watch the Hormozi stuff as much as you guys do. Selling is great at the actual event. However, in enterprise, big business, the deal happens after the demo, right? When your buyer has to explain you internally upstream, that's where the sale is made or not made. So if you're selling an AI tool, there's 3 truths that you need to know on how to sell it. Truth number 1 is that deals don't die in the meeting. The meeting is the easy part. The hard part is when you're not in the room and they have to explain what your thing does. If you haven't given them the language to do that, they will not do it well, I assure you. Right? So the sale is not your pitch. I'm drawing a distinction here. Pitching is pitching. That's a whole nother discipline. We can talk about that later. But the sale itself, the deal, the execution of when they buy isn't the pitch, right? The internal conversation that you will never hear is where the sale happens. Truth number 1, deals don't die in the meeting. Truth number 2, the internal retail, that's the real battlefield, right? That's the part that you are preparing for. If you've built the cool technology widget, whatever it does, and I came out of Wall Street, so I've seen all the data analytics platforms, AI algo wheels, all of that stuff. If you've got some cool tech, the internal retail is what you're preparing for in how you sell this thing. You will have a champion, the person that is a friendly inside the company you're trying to pitch. They want to have the meeting with you. They like you even. They love your content. All of that is good. But that champion has to resell you upstream privately. That's the real problem with technology right now, right? So we're talking the ultimate buyer is the CFO, is the compliance department, is the IT group that needs to integrate whatever it is that you're introducing. But the problem is your champion, most of them, they can't retell that upstream comfortably in 30 seconds. They're not professional salespeople. And you might even be. I was in sales for 30 years. I know how to sell. I've sold oak panel boardrooms in other countries where it's just me and 10 people in suits, and I'm the only person in that room that doesn't make $100 million a year. I've been there. The problem is when you're selling something technically complex, it becomes politically risky for those folks internally to push your agenda. So you have to accommodate this. You have to account for this and help them be able to sell you in 30 seconds or less. Now we come to AI, right? AI is the rage right now. I live in the same world you do. It's very cool. The problem is AI is the most approval resistant category in the world at the moment in big companies. The problem is risk, compliance. There's issues here with what does this thing do if it goes off the rails? That was the number 1 question. When I sold AI trading algorithms, these hedge funds, the first question was, who do I call if there's a problem? And the second question was, how do I even know if this thing has gone off the rails, Mark? These are concerns in big companies, because if they have an issue, it's a big issue. So AI triggers these 3 reactions immediately inside anyone you're trying to sell to. Number 1, excitement. Wow, that's really cool. Number 2, fear. Whoa, this is a black box. Like, how do I know what it's doing? And number 3, skepticism, right? It sounds great. Can you prove it? AI is new. People don't have their heads around it yet. The big companies especially, and they all pretend that they're integrating it, they're upgrading it, they're training their people in it. The reality is they're afraid of it. You make it easy and safe for them to buy the thing, they buy it. If it doesn't sound easy and safe, they're going to wait. So most enterprise buyers don't reject AI, right? That would be politically suicide. They delay it. Sounds great. We're going to talk about it internally. We'll come back to this next quarter. There's a gap between your demo and their decision-making, and you need to accommodate for that. If you're selling an AI tool of any sort, you have to sell to that, right? The demo, when you go in there, creates belief. If you do it right, they walk out of there as believers. Your thing is cool. However, approval is not belief. Approval requires what I call decision logic. They have to be able to explain it internally in a way that makes sense so they don't look like an idiot. And your champion to do this needs to be able to answer 3 questions again. These 3 questions that champion will represent are, number 1, what is it? Like, you have to tell them exactly how to say what you are to other people. Number 2, why now? Why do we need to do it now? What's the risk of us waiting? And number 3, exactly what are those risks? Right? Delineate them. So you're getting around what is it, why now, and what are the risks? If your champion can't relay those in under 30 seconds upstream in a way that sounds intelligent, you didn't do your job. That is the job of the sales narrative. So they have to answer those 3 things cleanly, or the deal will stall, even if they loved your product. Most founders that I help out, they don't understand the fact that their thing is beloved. People like their stuff, but they can't buy it. And so the mistake that most founders turn to in that moment is they sell harder, more meetings, more explanations, more around the technology features. But that's not the problem. The problem is the buyer needs a story that they can defend internally. This is a very nuanced thing around enterprise selling that most salespeople don't understand. And I don't consider myself a sales trainer by any means. I just know that when I've sold tech that I knew my buyer didn't understand, I knew how they acted. In the Wall Street world, those folks are smart people. They're math people, many of them. The buyers over at the buy side, the hedge funds, they're not technologists. They're financial minds. It's not the same thing. So the story mattered. All you hear about is storytelling in the world right now, marketing and storytelling, and everyone's got to be your content. This is what it's getting at. What is the narrative? What makes you compelling? So what's the fix? The fix for selling AI into the enterprise, folks, is what I call decision logic. Decision logic is essentially you make your deal easy to approve internally by giving them the story that they should be relaying. Those 3 things, again, number 1 is simple narrative. What's something very easy that they can get their arms around? What are you? Number 2, champion ready language. The person that is the friendly inside your prospect, you got to give them the words. You have to craft the words that they will use. It's a job because they don't know how to do that. And if you don't help them do that, they won't. And number 3, committee-proof answers. Not the answers as to you're going to get in the meeting. The answers that the committee, the buying committee, will be asking that person, the champion, later on. All around the risk, all around the integration, all around what are the downstream implications to the company if they do this. You, as the builder of this widget, are only thinking about your tech. The thing does what you made it do. Good. You want to sell it now. There's a second level effect of how you have to message this into big companies. Right? If you do that right, you stop hearing next quarter. We're thinking about it. We like it. We're not sure. We need to discuss this. Right? That's really approval resistance. That is what that is. That's the problem at the buyer committee level. So remember, if you're selling AI into enterprise and your deal has stalled after the demo, that's why. That's all I got for you, folks. Good luck out there.